If you're a graduate in India right now, there is a 66% chance that your degree is the very thing keeping you broke. You spent 5 years following the rules, but while you were chasing marks, the economy was busy rewriting the rules of wealth. We all know the story. You have the MBA, the 35,000 rupees salary, and zero savings. Meanwhile, that school dropout just bought a car by selling on Instagram. It's not a luck problem, it's an education trap that taught you how to be a great employee but a terrible investor. Today, I'm using 2026 Parliament data to show you why 90% of graduates are failing financially and the 4 mindset shifts that will save your net worth. It's time to unlearn the 90s advice. Okay, real talk. You studied hard, maybe 4 years of engineering or 3 years of BCom. Maybe you even did an MBA. You have the degree, you have the mark sheet. Your parents told aunties at every family function that their kid is going to be set for life. And now, you're sitting at a job that pays you 35,000 rupees a month. You're saving nothing. Your friend, the one who dropped out in second year to sell things on Instagram, just bought a car. And the worst part? You can't even explain why that happened. You did everything right. You followed the plan. So what went wrong? I'm going to tell you exactly what went wrong. And it's not your degree. It's not your college. It's not even the economy. It's something much closer than that. Hey, I'm Rohan, and I spend way too much time thinking about why smart, educated people in India are chronically broke while the people society writes off end up building real wealth. If you're someone who worked hard for years, got the certificate, and still feels like money is somehow always escaping you, like you're always just barely keeping up, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if it helps you out. Because today we're not talking about stocks, we're not talking about which mutual fund to pick. We're talking about the thing that decides whether any of that advice actually works for you. We are talking about your money mindset. And I promise, by the end of this video, you are going to look at your financial life completely differently. Okay, let's start with a number that genuinely stopped me stare at my screen. According to the Economic Survey 2024 to 2025, tabled in Parliament, that's not some random blog, that's Parliament. Only 8.25% of India's graduates are employed in roles that actually match their qualifications. Let that sink in. You spent 4, 5, sometimes 7 years studying. Your family spent lakhs, sometimes tens of lakhs on your education. And statistically, there is less than a 1 in 10 chance you're working in a field that your degree prepared you for. It gets worse. As of March 2026, 66% of India's unemployed population are graduates. 66%. One analysis from Business Today published literally 3 days ago quoted a financial expert saying, and I'm paraphrasing here, the value of a traditional degree is depreciating faster than most assets in the middle class portfolio. That is a brutal sentence, but it is true. Now here's what I want you to notice. We're not talking about uneducated people struggling. India's illiterate population has near zero unemployment. The people most likely to be unemployed right now in 2026 are people with degrees. So we've built an entire society where the most educated people are economically the most vulnerable. And what do we tell kids? Beta, padhai pe dhyan do, degree lo, phir sab theek ho jayega. Something is fundamentally broken here, and the break is not in the system, or at least not only there. A huge part of it is in the way educated people think about money. Here's what most people don't realize. Your degree trains you to think like an employee. It teaches you to follow instructions, complete assignments, meet deadlines, and earn marks. The entire structure of formal education is designed to make you a reliable, obedient part of someone else's machine. And look, I'm not saying education is bad. I'll come back to that. But here's the psychological trap it creates. When you have a degree, your brain tells you, I have done my part. Now the system owes me. That waiting mindset, that sense of entitlement, in a very understandable way, that belief that the world will recognize and reward your credentials, that is the most expensive mindset you can carry. Let me give you a concrete example. Imagine two people. Let's call them Priya and Dhruv. Priya has a BCom degree from a decent college. Dhruv dropped out after class 12 and started selling handmade leather goods online. Priya waits for her campus placement. It doesn't come. She applies to 200 jobs, gets 3 interviews, lands a 28,000 rupees per month role at a mid-size firm. She's relieved. She stops looking. Dhruv, meanwhile, has no safety net. He has no campus placement waiting for him. His only option is to figure out what people want, sell it to them, and get better. He's terrified, but he's active. 5 years later, Priya earns 55,000 rupees a month. Her savings rate is maybe 10 to 12% because, have you seen Mumbai rents? Dhruv's business makes 2 to 3 lakh rupees a month in revenue and he owns all of it. Now you might be thinking, Rohan, that's survivorship bias. Most people who drop out don't succeed. And you're absolutely right, most don't. I'm not telling you to drop out. I am asking you, what specific thing about Dhruv's thinking made him succeed? The answer is, he had no choice but to develop what psychologists call a growth orientation towards money, the belief that wealth is built, not received. Priya's degree inadvertently gave her a fixed orientation, the belief that wealth is granted in exchange for credentials. That psychological difference worth more than any degree.
Okay, now I want to show you something with numbers because this is where it gets really interesting. India's mutual fund industry just crossed 81 lakh crore rupees in assets under management as of January 2026. Monthly SIP inflows are sitting at around 30,000 crore rupees every single month. That's extraordinary. India is genuinely becoming an investor nation. But here's the problem. According to AMFI data, only about 8% of India's population invests in mutual funds. Compare that to the US, where 46% of the population invests. So while the absolute numbers sound huge, most Indians, including most graduates, are still not participating in wealth creation. And why? Let me tell you what I hear constantly. People say, I'll start investing once I earn more. Market is too risky right now. I don't understand it properly yet. All of those are mindset excuses dressed up as financial logic. Let me show you the math of waiting. Suppose you are 25 years old today. You start a SIP of 5,000 rupees per month. Historical data for the Nifty index over 30 years, Business Today ran this analysis in January 2026 using actual Nifty data from 1995 to 2025, shows that a consistent monthly SIP delivers roughly a 12.4% CAGR over the long term. At 5,000 rupees per month from age 25 to 55, that's 30 years, you would have invested 18 lakh rupees total. Your portfolio value? Approximately 1.76 crore rupees. Now let's say you wait until 35 to start. Same 5,000 rupees per month, same 12.4% returns. Now you only have 20 years. Total invested? 12 lakh rupees. Portfolio value? Approximately 49 to 50 lakh rupees. You waited 10 years, invested 6 lakh rupees less, and ended up with 1.26 crore rupees less wealth. That 10-year delay caused by a mindset of I'll do it when I'm ready cost you more than a crore of rupees. That is not a small number. That is a house in most Indian cities. That is your child's entire education abroad. That is a decade of financial freedom. And look, I have to say it, past performance isn't a guarantee of future returns. But the power of starting early, that's just mathematics. Compounding doesn't care about your feelings or the headlines. And here's the devastating part. The research shows the returns between different investment strategies are nearly identical. Whether you invest monthly, annually, or on market dips, the CAGR comes out almost the same, between 12.41% and 12.48%. The variable that actually determines your wealth is simply, did you start and did you stay in? Mindset, not strategy, not a degree in finance, mindset. So, what does the right money mindset actually look like? Let me give you 4 specific shifts, and I mean specific, not some motivational poster stuff. Shift number 1, from I'll invest leftover money to I invest first. Most educated salaried people treat investment like a restaurant. They order what they want first and hope something is left for the bill. Flip it. Automate your SIP on salary day. The moment the money lands, 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees goes out automatically. You build your life on what remains. This is called paying yourself first, and it is the most underrated financial habit in India. Shift number 2. From I need to understand everything before I start to I start, then I understand. Look, this one is specifically aimed at the highly educated people in this room. We have been trained to master a topic before attempting it. That works in exams. It is catastrophic in investing. The market doesn't wait for you to finish studying it. And here's what the data says. 97% of mutual fund schemes delivered positive returns in 2025, even as the markets went through volatility. People who understood nothing but stayed invested, they made money. People who waited to understand, they missed the entire run. Shift number 3. From my degree will save me to my skills will save me. According to a 2025 LinkedIn survey, 73% of Indian recruiters now value observable skills, adaptability, and practical experience more than traditional degree credentials. This is a seismic shift. Your degree gets you considered, your mindset and skills get you selected. And when it comes to financial independence, no one asks for your mark sheet. Shift number 4. From debt is embarrassing to understanding debt is powerful. Here's where educated people in India make some of their most expensive mistakes. They treat all debt as shameful, so they either avoid it entirely, losing leverage, or they drown in it silently, taking personal loans to maintain lifestyle. The financially intelligent question is not should I have debt, it's is this debt creating an asset or destroying one? An education loan at 9% that increases your earning capacity by 3 lakh rupees annually, that's intelligent debt. An EMI on a 1.5 lakh rupees phone you bought on a credit card because of a no-cost EMI offer, that's lifestyle inflation wearing a financial mask. Let me tell you about a real pattern I've seen. I won't use names, but this is someone I know personally. Engineering graduate, Tier 2 college, 2019 batch. Took 14 months to find a job. Started at 22,000 rupees per month. Spent the next 3 years chasing his next salary hike, telling himself he'd invest when things settle down. Meanwhile, his cousin, same family, class 12 pass, runs a small electronics repair shop in Nagpur, started a 3,000 rupees per month SIP in 2020. Didn't know what CAGR meant, didn't know Sensex from Nifty. Just set up an SIP through a PhonePe app in 10 minutes because a friend told him to. By early 2026, the engineer, now earning 62,000 rupees per month, has 1.4 lakh rupees in savings across 2 bank accounts. And just to be clear, he knew about mutual funds. He'd watched videos, read articles, had 3 different apps installed. But analysis paralysis kept his money rotting in a savings account at 3.5% while inflation aged it quietly. The repair shop guy has an SIP portfolio worth approximately 2.8 lakh rupees from just 3,000 rupees a month over 5 years. Plus, he's been reinvesting profits from his business. His net worth quietly crossing 8 lakh rupees. The engineer's not stupid. He's the victim of a mindset that told him credentials lead to wealth. The shop owner built wealth because his circumstances forced him to develop an active, proactive money mindset. You do not need to be forced. You can choose it right now, today. Okay, so here's what I actually want you to do this week, not someday, this week. Now, quick reminder, this is general mindset education, not personalized financial advice. Please consult a SEBI registered advisor for your specific situation. But broadly speaking, here is where you start. Step 1, run the 20% rule audit. Write down your monthly take home salary. Write down every outflow from last month. If your investments are less than 20% of your income, that is your first number to fix. Even 1,000 rupees per month started today is worth more than 10,000 rupees per month started in 3 years. The math backs this up. I showed you. Step 2. Set up one automated SIP before this weekends. Go to Zerodha Coin, Grow, or ET Money, whichever you're comfortable with. Pick a Nifty 50 index fund. Set up an SIP of whatever you can afford, honestly even 500 rupees. The goal right now is not the amount. The goal is to break the psychological barrier of I haven't started. Because right now, that belief, I haven't started yet, is costing you more than market risk ever will. Step 3. Write down your money story. This sounds soft. It is not soft. Take a piece of paper and finish this sentence. Money is dash. Then write down 5 beliefs you have about money that came from your parents, your upbringing, your community. Most people have never examined these beliefs, and unexamined beliefs are running your entire financial life. If you grew up hearing "paisa haath ka mail hai," money is like dirt on your hands, it comes and goes, that belief is more dangerous to your net worth than any market crash. Step 4. Follow people who think differently about money. Not Instagram influencers selling 5,000 rupees courses. Look for people building real, documented wealth through transparent, boring, consistent investing. The boring stuff works. The fancy stuff makes content creators rich, not you. Here is what I really want to leave you with. India's mutual fund industry is managing 81 lakh crore rupees. Monthly SIPs are at 30,000 crore rupees. The economy is still projected to grow at 6.5 to 7% in the coming year. The infrastructure for wealth building in this country has never been this accessible. You don't need a finance degree. You don't need to understand derivatives or read balance sheets. The tools are literally on your phone. Aadhaar KYC, UPI autopay, digital SIPs. A 10-minute setup is all that stands between you and being an investor. The only thing that can stop you now is a mindset that tells you you're not ready, that you need to understand more, that the timing isn't right, that your salary isn't high enough yet.
None of those things are true. They are stories. And unlike your degree, you can rewrite them whenever you want. Look, I know this is uncomfortable to hear if you're someone who worked incredibly hard in school, who did everything the system told you to do. I'm not saying your degree was worthless. I am saying it was sold to you as a destination when it was only ever meant to be a starting point. Wealth is not a reward for education. Wealth is a result of decisions made consistently over time. Start today. Start small. Start wrong if you have to, because a wrong start beats a perfect non-start every single time. If this hit home, share it with one person in your family who needs to hear it. Not to make them feel bad, but because sometimes the most loving thing you can do for someone is give them information that changes how they see money. Drop a comment below. What's the one money belief from your childhood that you think has held you back the most? I read every single comment and I will reply to as many as I can. Subscribe if you want more of this. I drop videos every week breaking down real financial psychology with real Indian numbers. No jargon, no gatekeeping. And I'll see you in the next one.